Guys, there is one game I love and one game I have played, okay? And there's been a few games I have not played, people know that. But there is one game that I not only have played, but I play a fuckload of, and that is Overwatch, okay? Overwatch is now 2 or 3 years old. Now, I've seen this new game. It's called Bleeding Edge. It looks fucking incredible, and I honestly think they're taking on the Overwatch market, and they have a shot. We went hands-on for about 25 minutes, half an hour or so.
Yeah.
And before, at first we're like, wow, that looks like interesting design. I hope it's good. We jumped on, and we have some good things to say. Okay, let's drop this shit. Let's talk about it.
Check this out. All right, so Sam's little intro spiel then was because he's sponsored by Microsoft.
Hashtag sponsored.
It's the only reason
I
he's
really
saying
hate this game.
good
okay?
things about it. We
Don't
are
buy
being
it.
sponsored by Microsoft. They paid for our flights and accommodation for our trip here to E3. We're obliged to say that whenever we talk about Microsoft stuff. But the thing is, we actually had no plans to talk about this game whatsoever because we didn't even know it existed.
Yeah. I didn't even think it was going to be hands-on. I just thought it was going to be like a trailer and we might see some new shit in the future.
So this is from Ninja Theory, who most recently put out Hellblade, which was, I haven't actually played this one myself.
Yeah.
But everyone I've spoken to who has played it said it was just absolutely magnificent. And you know, so now they're working on something very different. They've got this this sort of like brawler, arena-based brawler.
Yep.
Imagine essentially Overwatch.
But you have to capture areas and stuff. And,
but it's melee-based combat. I think there are probably 12 heroes that we saw in this demo.
Yeah, something like that.
That's the full roster at this point.
Yeah.
And they all have different abilities, you know, so you've got like one guy who can, you know, spin around in circles with his swords and damage people, and he can stun people, something stun, like an ability sort of hero shooters or whatever.
And had an ultimate that you could charge up over
Correct,
time.
all that.
Kind of stuff.
But it's melee-based combat, and that's the real big difference here, where, you know, Overwatch is mainly ranged combat. You do have characters that can get up and close and personal, like Genji and like Doomfist,
Brigade.
whatever else. There's that. This is entirely built around
Raph
that.
is a scrub when it comes to Overwatch. But anyway,
Amazing.
I really do think this is a mixture of For Honor meets Overwatch, you know. And
I wouldn't say For Honor meets Overwatch.
oh, it's definitely it's
It's
fine.
like
it's not
it's
exactly
more
like that.
It feels more like Mordhau meets Overwatch or whatever, because it's quite spammy. It's because For Honor is very much like 1v1 duels. You get it's very weighty. It's very sort of realistic in a way.
This has a bit more of a
This
lighty
is just a
feel.
big cartoon, sort of like,
Sure.
it's from the same person who did the combat design for Devil May Cry. That's DMC, I should say. I should get that correct, otherwise the Devil May Cry audience will be very upset with me. But, you know, so you've got what is obviously very flashy, very stylized combat in an arena game. And I have to say, like, I just was so super impressed by this game. Like, we just sat down with it. We immediately started seeing the character designs. They're all very interesting, totally unique.
A lot of life in each of them.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
A lot of life.
Yeah,
And
it really leaps out at you.
And you know, the funny thing is, we were chatting with one of the devs, and he was like, you know, we're only a team of 20, and we were like, whoa, this is such a passion project. You can clearly see it. You know, they're obviously stretched thin, but like they're putting everything into it because it just looks great. It feels good. You know, it feels like it's not exact. Like some of the like punching and stuff, I was like, maybe that can be changed slightly. But the abilities felt good. You know, the working with your team felt very easy and quick to understand. Like it had a lot of good things going.
I think what happened was we played one round, and already within one round, we were already talking about strategies. We understood what our abilities were and how to use them. There's also like, there's roles within this game. You've got your bruisers, you've got your like high DPS, you've got your support classes and healers, you've got buff bots. You know, like you've got a fair amount of range within those hero kits, and we were already starting to make use of those in our strategies together. You've got a map design that has different points that open up at different times. You've got a train that was driving through the middle of the level and it was killing people.
Like that. It was very interesting.
Yeah. So, and I spoke to the creative director of the game as well, and I asked her, like, you know, what was the genesis of this game? And they really tried to maybe think about going down the MOBA path for this, like making this a sort of MOBA style game.
Yeah.
And then they said, look, eventually we arrived at that not being the case. Like it was just fun enough without all of that extra noise. People just fighting each other was really the main draw card. And I was like, well, okay, cool, fair enough.
I think that it's right for MOBA. Maybe the reason I feel like it's so easy to implement MOBA is because what you said, they started there and then they actually ended at a different spot. But I hope that they do that in the future to integrate some sort of like maybe weapons or whatever, or just like a MOBA style. Like the mechanics and the abilities and the characters and the world already feel so good.
It did remind me a little bit of Smite Smite almost in a way, you know, Smite's got a fair amount of melee combat in as well.
That's the best one to actually kind of compare it to. It's definitely very Smite-ish. With a Borderlands Rage 2 Overwatch like look to it.
Yeah.
You know, that's
punky, edgy.
We're throwing a lot at you in terms
Cyberpunk.
of what it
It's
looks
also Cyberpunk inspired.
Cyberpunk, that's what it looks like. But I mean, it does look very, very promising.
Look, honestly, I'll tell you this. Like, had no awareness of this game. Saw the trailer and thought that looks fucking cool.
Yeah.
Played it. I will say it's the most fun thing I played at E3. I don't think it was the best game I played at E3. I think the best thing I played at E3 is like Doom and Borderlands 3.
It's probably the most innovative thing I've looked at here.
I think so. I really feel like I was like literally screaming and fully engaged in this within the space of 20 minutes. Really, really loving it and just thinking, can't wait for this to come out. And actually there's a technical alpha or something that's coming at the end of this month.
Yeah.
And then who knows how long they'll run that for.
And I look forward to actually jumping on that. So many games I see like alpha coming out or beta, I'm like, oh yeah, cool. But this I'm like, okay, I want to jump back on this.
Yeah.
I think it's risky to come out with something that a lot of people haven't seen or has been done in the past, but you really want to put your own spin on it.
I haven't played a game like this before. Like it feels very similar to Overwatch, don't get me wrong, but because of the melee-based combat, it also feels simultaneously very different.
Yeah.
There's also what feels like a pretty high skill cap in it already. Like there are sort of like you can get super armor at certain times, which means that certain abilities, if you're being comboed, you can use your ability because it gives you like a split second of super armor, allowing you to break other people's combos. So knowing what their super armor moments are versus what yours are, what combos you can break, there are dash moves, there's verticality. Already I was getting a sense that, if you've spent time with this game, that skill cap would reveal itself.
Yeah, I would say also that it has that perfect balance of, it kind of feels like if you don't know how to play the game, you can also just jump on and play it. So a lot of great games like Overwatch, like you can jump on and just play something and you're like, okay, I'm not a master at this. And then also when you become a master, there's also more and more depth.
Yep.
But like, we don't know if that's going to be that, but that's what it kind of gave me the feeling of,
Yeah.
But
in terms of monetization, there's no loot boxes. And I asked the developer, or the creative director, I'm like, can you give me a no loot box guarantee ever? And she's like, I can tell you I really, really, really don't want that, and because she can't obviously rule anything out. She's a creative director. She's not the, like the business person that makes those sorts of decisions.
Yeah.
But she was very clear that she did not want to go down that route. There are no loot boxes in this game. Cosmetics, you can only get cosmetics for the hoverboards. By the way, you can mount up in this game. So you hold down your left D-pad and you mount up and you can move around faster. You can get cosmetics for those. You can get skins for those. You can get sort of like vinyls for them. And that's the only form of cosmetic for now, but surely they'll add skins in the future.
I mean, look, I'd be disappointed if they started making you pay for additional heroes. I feel like...
I feel like this is a game that's going out on Game Pass, right? And they will have a standalone box price as well.
Yep.
If they charge like $15, $20 for this game, which is what I think they should charge, I think they should have a very low barrier to entry to get people playing this game.
Better still, look, if they were to come out and say, look, this is free to play, and then they
I asked about that. They can't because they're Microsoft exclusive. So
that's
true.
They
just, they want to boost Game Pass, this sort of stuff. So. Yeah. I think the creative director was like looking at the Microsoft person being like, hey, how about it? Let's go free to play. And the Microsoft person was like, So that's not going to happen. If they want to use it as Game Pass, fine. But I do believe that, if they charge $15, $20 for this and then they wanted to monetize on extra heroes or skins or whatever, I'd be okay with that. It's that kind of game where I wouldn't mind paying to keep it sustained in the long term.
Yeah, I mean, our message has always been like, just make sure whatever the pricing is,
it's fair. And it's
as long as it's pro-consumer in terms of it's a fair deal, it's a fair deal. And I think that I'm really excited and also kind of seeing a team of 20 and there's so much love and passion and just effort put into it.
Yeah.
I have a soft spot for this game already and I really want it to do well. I hope it is monetized correctly, but the bottom line is, I'm looking forward to this game coming out.
I'm honestly really looking forward to this.
Totally.
Like as I said, it was the most
it's
fun.
It's a Switch title though, also, which is a real shame. Yeah, I mean, you jump on for 10 minutes somewhere.
It's an online multiplayer game. On Switch.
Tether your phone, people like I do, you can totally do that.
I would say...
It feels like it's a very jump on, jump off kind of game.
It is that kind of game, absolutely.
Switch would have been good for that, that's all.
So look, it's exclusive to Xbox. It'll be out on PC and Xbox.
Yeah.
Technical alpha later this month. It's closed alpha, and then it'll open up over time. But honestly, though, put on your radar. Like, I really mean it. Like, I just had no awareness, and all of a sudden it's gone. from being something that didn't even know about to being something that I'm like, man, that is fucking cool, and I can't wait for that. So just take a look at it. I really don't think you'd be disappointed.
Yeah, and with that, guys, that is it for today. And then we've got a couple more videos. We've got a special video that we can't announce yet tomorrow. Then we have Yongye later on that day.
The Yongye post game
of videos to go. Until next time, Yong out.